So we're hearing from multiple sources that Gervonta Tank Davis has retired from the sport of boxing after apparently being fed up. He's fed up with the sport. Or is that just because, he's actually just got charges against him again? Again. He's got charges against him. So he's been forced into retirement because he's got other things to deal with. It's probably best he does retire, to be honest with you, with everything that's going on. I mean, with all the actions that he's been doing, he probably shouldn't even be allowed to box. I've seen so many delusional Tank fans saying, the face of boxing is retiring. He's not the face of boxing. Never has been. Never will be. At the end of the day, never will be the face of boxing. Just look at his pay-per-view sales. Don't come back and tell me that he is the face of boxing, because he is not at all. He's not at all. If he was the face of boxing, then, he'd be wanting to fight guys like Shakur Stevenson. He'd be wanting, that Devin Haney fight. He would have wanted a lot of these big fights, but instead wanted that Lamont Roach Jr. fight. And then Lamont Roach kind of bloody took it all out of him in the end, which was completely unexpected. Dropped him, and let's be real, it'll be a very difficult fight for Tank to win the rematch, to be honest with you. It'll be very difficult. But it doesn't look like that's happening. I mean, Tank said that he wanted to retire at the end of this year anyway, and that 2025 looked to be his final year in the sport. But it doesn't look like he's been able to deal with that Lamont Roach draw, loss, really very well whatsoever. Confidence must have been dropped. That's possibly something. I mean, he didn't look like he was passionate at all this year. He's always turning down these really big money fights for some weird reason. Tank's all about the money, but he's turning down a lot of these big fights, and I don't know why. But the Lamont Roach Jr. rematch is huge. The Lamont Roach Jr. rematch is a big money fight. It is, after what happened last time. It's a big money fight where it's going to sell pay-per-views. But Tank doesn't want any part of that at all right now. He doesn't want any part of that at all. That's strange to me. That is strange to me. It's a big money fight. Tank's all about those fights. But yeah, it seems like the moment it's got a bit difficult for Tank, he's decided to hang up the gloves. He's fed up. He doesn't know what to do with himself now. And he's going back to his old ways of just being an absolute clown and wanting to assault women. Yeah, like this all could be because of those charges against him, which are true. He's been in trouble for many things before. He probably did do what he's been accused of. He probably did do what all the allegations are about. He's been found guilty before. Why wouldn't he be again? Why wouldn't he be again? So he's had to retire because of that. He's had to retire, and there we go. That is all done for Tank. I don't see why he turned down the Lamont Roach rematch. I don't see why. But again, for someone who talks about money, for someone who, I don't think he's here for legacy. I mean, he's not, and I think we all knew that anyway, though. But again, you're turning down a massive payday with Lamont anyway. That draw could have been the best thing to bloody ever happen to Tank. It's a huge money fight, career on the line fight, the Tank rematch with Lamont. And Tank doesn't want to take that fight. He just wants to lay back in retirement and go back to these ways. I don't know why. If Tank wants to try and, become a better guy, and doesn't want to, go back to his old ways by being arrested all the bloody time, which is what has happened recently, then boxing should be there to help him. With Tank retiring, he's not helping himself here at all. But again, he probably shouldn't even be allowed to box again anyway, if what has happened is true. But I mean, he's done, stuff in the past anyway, which hasn't been taken seriously enough around the boxing world, and his fans still continue to worship him for some strange reason. You know, he's boxing John Jones at the end of the day. He's boxing John Jones. They have done ridiculously similar things. Ridiculously similar things. It's just that Tank's just not a drug cheat. But look, I don't know why Tank has decided to make this decision. All we've heard is that he is fed up. You know, is it hard to make the rematch with Lamont? I mean, why wouldn't it be, though? Like, you know, they had a rematch clause in there if Tank was to lose or draw. You know, he's got to take that rematch for the sake of his career. But again, I don't think he really cares about his career. I don't think he cares about his career whatsoever. You know, people might say, oh, he's not retired, he's just being stupid here. But again, he might be retired, he might not be retired. He has been hinting at retirement, though. If he's not retired, he probably will be out for a while. He probably might not. If he's not retired, he might not fight till this time next year. He's got stuff in his personal life going on right now. It's difficult. It's difficult for him to probably get things going. That's probably why he's fed up with all of this. That is probably why. But let's wait and see what happens.